All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Greater Human Performance Podcast, where we discuss anything and everything related to nutrition, strength training, and even personal development. In today's episode, we are discussing the holidays because we're quickly approaching November here in the US. So I thought it would be a great opportunity to discuss a few recommendations that you can implement to help you stay on track during the holiday season. We're going to go ahead and start things off. The first thing that I really want to emphasize is that it's very important that you are ultimately okay with whatever decision you make. I have met a lot of individuals that have essentially struggled during the holiday season because they weren't sure whether they should stay on track with their goals or they should just not care because, hey, it's the holiday season. 1 day, 2 days, maybe 3 days, depending on what holidays we're looking at and the weekend. Ultimately, it's going to boil down to what your goals are and what you truly want to prioritize. If you think that it's only a few days and it doesn't matter, then hey, it doesn't matter. You have to be okay with that decision or whatever the results are thereafter. And vice versa. If you decide that, hey, it's the holiday season, but I set this goal to reach this weight, to lose this weight, to whatever, right? And I'm going to prioritize that no matter what, or despite, having a lot more social gatherings with family, friends, etc., I'm going to stay on track. You have to be okay with that decision. So make sure that whatever decision you make, whatever plan you have ahead of time, you are 100% okay with the end result or the outcome. That is going to be the most important thing to avoid any regret, remorse, or anything that goes towards that negativity after the fact. Number two, we're going to go ahead and dive a little bit deeper into what tactics we can use to help you stay on track or minimize, if not reduce, weight gain during the holidays, because that tends to be very common, especially in the United States. So number one is to set rules, simple rules that you can follow and adhere to and be consistent with. I'm going to go ahead and give you a few rules that you can consider to help you manage your weight, to help you stay on top of your goals, and still be able to enjoy the holiday season. So number one is to focus on complete meals. So during the holiday season, there are a lot of opportunities to snack. That's probably one of the most common reasons individuals increase their calorie intake over their needs is because they're snacking a lot. You want to focus on complete meals. And what is a complete meal? It is essentially a protein, a starch or carbohydrate, and a vegetable source in one meal. So if you see a snack that's typically like candy or dessert or sweets or something, you need to make sure you add in a protein and a vegetable somewhere in that meal in order to make it a complete meal. Anything that is not a complete meal, you will avoid. Number two is to focus on spacing your meals. So setting a timeline typically helps people manage their intake much better than not. So whether it's eating every 3 hours, every 4 hours, maybe 5 hours, at that point you're probably hungry. So let's just say that you are setting a timeline of eating every 4 hours. You're going to have your first meal around 8, maybe breakfast, and then you're going to eat again 4 hours later at noon, and then again at 4 p.m., and then again at 8 p.m., and that's probably most people's last meal there. So 4 feedings or 4 meals throughout the day, and most people are not eating 4 meals. Most people tend to have scattered meals, maybe 2 to 3 meals. So this is going to help you stay on track with your meals, but also manage your portion sizes, because if you know you're going to eat 4 hours later, you're probably not going to have a massive sized meal. Number three is going to be to focus on protein first when you are eating. Protein is going to be a lot more satiating than all the other macronutrients. So that way you increase the probability of feeling satiated, so that way you're less likely to snack in between those 4-hour intervals that we have set. And so that leads us to the last recommendation for today, and that is to avoid any liquid calories. It's very easy to drink calories via liquids because they're just liquids. The unfortunate part there is that they're not as satiating as whole foods. So we have this situation of drinking calories, eating calories from whole foods. Those are two sources that we're ingesting calories. So by reducing, if not eliminating, the calories from the liquids, that naturally reduces the amount of calories that people eat overall, and also increases the amount of calories that they eat from whole foods, like all the fun foods, like the desserts, the cookies, the turkey, the ham, all those things, right? Those are all whole foods technically, right, compared to liquids. And so that brings us to the last recommendation or tactic that we can focus on to help you stay on track during the holiday season, and that is to exercise and remain active. Ideally, you want to knock it out as soon as possible during the day. As the day goes on, willpower goes down. So in order for you to maximize your physical activity, it's generally recommended to knock it out earlier in the day. Ultimately, making sure that you remain active is going to be the most important thing in order to help you stay on track during the holiday seasons. So let's go ahead and recap here, because obviously I went through a lot of information. Number one, it's very important to make sure that you are okay with the end result, whether it's being flexible during the holidays or staying on track during the holidays. Number two, you have to set specific rules that are going to guide you to stay on track during the holiday season. You can do this by, number one, focusing on complete meals. Number two, setting a timeline or spacing between meals, so eating every 4 hours. Number three, focusing on the protein source first. And number four, avoiding liquid calories. And that brings us to the final recommendation, which is to continue to remain active. Ideally, you want to make sure you knock out your exercise earlier in the morning in order to ensure that you're not avoiding it or likely not doing it later on in the day because of fatigue or because of prior engagements that you have scheduled already. So those are going to be the recommendations to help you stay on track during the holiday season. If you found this video helpful, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to the channel for future content. And last but not least, please make sure to share this video with a friend that would benefit from the information that we've provided, and I will talk to you on the next video.